look, I finally played Need for Speed Unbound. I think it's been out since 2022, I believe. And honestly, I don't know if this should be like a review or be like, hey, I played this game, this is what I think type of deal. Maybe that's what the route that I'm going to be taking on this video. Maybe it'll be different in future videos like this. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me what I can do down in the comments down below, what I can do differently, what I can do visually different, I guess. I don't know. Just shoot something down in the comments, that way I can know what you guys think. So Need for Speed Unbound, it's pretty much a game about street racing, becoming famous on the streets, and racing and fast cars and drifting and turning. And yeah, that's Need for Speed Unbound, honestly. I mean, there's an actual story. It's about this friend that you I think it's like you fixed up one of the 4 vehicles from the beginning and made it into a really super nice vehicle. It made it super drive nice, made it super cool, right? Well, she gets the idea of hang out with these people that aren't so nice and stole all the vehicles from this garage, and she stole your vehicle, like a true friend, you know, the usual, the typical Tuesday, right? But honestly, I don't really care for the story. Like for Need for Speed Heat, I don't really remember the story either. I just really enjoyed the driving and racing. But in this one, I don't know if it's just the starting vehicle, or if it's the way that the settings are set up for driving. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the game itself, but it's hard to drive, like hard to turn. Like if you're going to take a turn, if you go too fast, you're going to go plow through a bunch of people. And yes, there are actual people walking the sidewalks and stuff that you can't run over. I have found out that you cannot run over, but it's just it's weird to see, if that makes sense. Like I get like seeing them at like races and stuff, but walking while you're racing through the streets, I guess it's more realistic. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to drive in these streets because of the people, but that's just me. Okay, so Criterion, some of you may have know who these guys are, but Criterion has pretty much done a lot of Need for Speed, but quite a few Burnout, like Burnout 3 and Burnout Paradise, the games that I played growing up. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's going to be so good. But I don't know if it's just Criterion or if it's somebody else or if it's like EA that got into it, but it's just it's kind of weak. The story is okay. I don't really care for the story. The gameplay, it's all right. Again, I don't know if it's just the vehicles that I chose, or it's just I haven't gone that far into the tuning aspects of the vehicle or what, but it feels really stiff compared to Need for Speed Heat. And the reason why I keep going back and falling back onto Need for Speed Heat is because that's the only Need for Speed game that I played to completion. I have played other Need for Speed games, it's just I never finished them. Need for Speed Heat is like the only one that I finished to completion. But honestly, when I saw Criterion made this new Need for Speed Unbound game, I was super excited. I was like, oh, it's going to be really good. But I was like, okay, it's not that good. I mean, I don't want to say it's not that good. It's just not what I was expecting. And there's a wide selection of vehicles in this game, like usual. But your starting vehicle, I think you get 4 choices. And of course, I had to go for the muscle car. Like, well, it's just what I grew up. Excuse me, I'm fixing my blanket. It is sliding down. I am so sorry. Okay, so I chose a muscle car because I was like, oh, it's a really cool vehicle. So the vehicle that I chose was a 1969 Dodge Charger RT. That's the one that I saw. I was like, yep, that's the one that I need, hands down. I ended up going for like a purple. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's plum crazy, but I know it's a very pretty purple. And I was like, oh, it's beautiful. I love it. But after like a certain part of the tutorial, you get to choose a body kit for free. Like, you don't have to pay for anything, right? I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was so mad though. I'm upset. I'm still really super upset. So there's a specific body kit that turns it into a station wagon. A ground scraping, knuckle dragging, rubber band driving station wagon. It looks terrible. Why would you do this to a muscle car? It's a muscle car. Not a sports car, not a station wagon. It's a muscle car, man. American muscle car, man. Like, come on, dude. I'm upset, dude. I have never been so upset from a video game for a visual thing. Like, visually, it's terrible. It turned it into a station wagon. A fast-going station wagon. I have nothing's wrong, with people using station wagons. It's just they turned a Charger into a station wagon. Why would you do that? It is terrible looking. It is ugly. It scrapes the ground. It is, it is terrible. But I digress. So back to the story. After your friend steals your vehicle, it automatically goes to like the most expensive or most like highest grade or whatever they have their like grading system or whatever in the game for body kits, right? It's the far right option is what I'm trying to say. It's far right, and it's the station wagon for the Charger. And they're like, oh, it's so cool, it's so awesome. No, it's terrible. I hate it. Whoever decided to change that, I'm going to slap, dude. I don't know why. Like, I get stancing out vehicles, but no. Muscle cars are muscle cars. They're for their muscleness. Their beefy rawness. That's what a muscle car is. Like, if you do it for like the JDM cars, or like, I don't know, like turning into JDM or turning into drift cars, I can understand stancing vehicles out or like lowering vehicles. I can understand that, but not muscle cars. You do not do that. Muscle cars are muscle cars for a reason. But that's my philosophy on that. I hate it. Anyways, so I haven't finished the game. I haven't finished the storyline, and honestly, I don't remember parts of it. All I remember is that they turned my car, my beautiful 69 Challenger, into a station wagon, a stands out station wagon, and I hate it. Visually, the game, I don't know, I can't remember what the name of the actual rendering is. I don't think it's rotoscoped or rotor whatever. I don't think it is, but it's like a more of like a cartoon anime style for the characters, but on a realistic setting. And for me, they kind of clash. It would have looked cool, or it would have looked really good if it was more, I guess, cartoony, more anime looking. But it's more of a 3D for the characters, and I don't really care for the characters' look, in my opinion. But like, for getting the boosts and the air jumps and the drifting and all that kind of stuff, I like it. The little flashes of whatever coming out of your car is really cool. I like it. It looks really cool. But the two other things that I don't like is that when you're racing and you get ahead, like you start pulling ahead of the crowd of vehicles that you're racing against in street racing, it's like a rubber band effect. You start getting away, but as soon as you start slowing down a corner, they're all of a sudden right on top of you again. I don't know if it's how they drive, if the AI drives, or is it the difficulty that I set. I set the difficulty to like the medium. I just wanted to see what the game was like and how the vehicles handled, because again, I only played Need for Speed Heat. I want to see what the comparison was, and honestly, I don't like it. Like, when I was playing Need for Speed Heat, if you got into the lead and you got ahead of the people, you stayed ahead of the people. You know, it's like feeling like it's like a feeling of accomplishment that you're like really good at the game, or like just good at the game. But Need for Speed Unbound, there's like a rubber band effect, or if you go too slow, or if you don't use your boost efficiently enough, they just all of a sudden pass everybody. Or if like you clip like a railing or something, like just like scrape it and slow down just a little bit, you're like down to 8th or last again. And that's just kind of infuriating to me. I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's just user error, like on my part, or if it's part of the game. The cop chasing, it's nothing different from, again, Need for Speed Heat. Instead of SWAT vans, they have Ford Raptors as the heavy units, as the highest heat level you can get. The Ford Raptor trucks will come out, and that's like their heavy hitters. They got the helicopters, they got Corvettes. I think they had Corvettes in Need for Speed Heat also. They have, I think it's Chargers as the second level of Heat, and they got Crown Victorias as the Ford Crown Victorias as the first level of Heat for the cops. There's the police chatter that you can hear. I don't know if that's like something they explain later on or whatever. I don't know if that's I don't know. Cop chasing, it's fine. It can be very difficult at times depending on what vehicle you have, and especially if you have, like, I think they're called not equipment but specialties, where you have reinforced body or repair kits, or refill the NOS. Oh, speaking of the NOS, it's I don't like it. I can understand the 3 bars. So okay, the way that the NOS is set up, there's the 3 bars and then there's the actual fill meter for your nitrous, right? So the fill meter for your nitrous is the typical, you hold down whatever your action button is for the boost button is, and it'll use that entire bar. Like, it's just one strip. But then on the inner side where the odometer is, on the right side of your screen, bottom right of your screen, there's 3 other bars that'll fill up, but it'll deplete if you don't have any, if you don't drift, if you don't jump, if you don't crash into, or if you don't take down police vehicles, it won't fill up. And I don't know if it's and the boost is really weird. That's what I'm trying to say. It fills up, but it has a different system for the filling up the other boost, which I can understand. But they have 2 different mechanics for the boost. So like, if you get too close to a vehicle, it fills up the inner side. It fills up those 3 bars quicker. But if you drive on oncoming traffic, it fills up the nitrous. It's something that I haven't wrapped my head around. I'm not saying it's a bad concept or it's a bad game mechanic. I just haven't wrapped my head around it, and I haven't played enough of it to wrap my head around it, unfortunately. But honestly, it's a fun game if you can wrap your head around the whole game system. Like, for vehicles, I didn't realize how underperformed all my vehicle was, and I didn't realize how not a lot of money I have either. So those two things could probably be hindering my gaming performance, I guess. So it's a good game. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's just I have to wrap my head around it, and I have to kind of like tweak my gaming style, I guess you can call it. How I play the game is how I need to tweak it. Would I recommend playing this game, or would I recommend this game to others? If it's been on your radar for a little bit, I would say just go for it. If you've played other racing games, I'd say just go for it. But if you're trying out some, like, if this is your first driving game that you've played for like a long time or ever, I would say go for Need for Speed Heat. In my opinion, it's a lot more solid. The driving mechanic is a lot better, in my opinion. It's a lot more flushed out, I think. But again, I didn't play that far into it, so take what I've been saying with a grain of salt. It's a good game. I enjoy it. I have nitpicks. There's things that I don't like about it. But again, it's my opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant. I finally played Need for Speed Unbound. I hope my idling engine isn't that loud throughout this video. So, I got a cool car. Alright, I'll see y'all later. Peace.